Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. And we are back with our friend, our spiritual medium, our psychic, our animal communicator, Jaime Breeze. Welcome back this morning. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me back, Jill. How are you doing?
I'm great. Always a pleasure to have you here. The stories that you share, I think really they have to change people's minds about communication with those on the other side and animal communication, because it's just so real and extraordinary. So I'm excited to talk to you today because I know you have great client stories, but also in regards to what you do to help people. Just give us a little bit of your background, if you don't mind, for new listeners today.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. As Jill mentioned, my name is Jaime Breeze. I live in Jasper National Park in Canada. My website's jaimebreeze.com, JAIMEBREEZE.com. And you can find me on Instagram at The Mountain Medium. Jill was describing what I do. I'm a spiritual medium, psychic, and animal communicator. And some people get very confused about what those things may be. So I'll just touch base on that quickly.
Sure.
A spiritual medium is someone who connects with your loved ones on the other side, whether it's a person or an animal that has transitioned. I'll raise my vibration and spirit on the other side will lower theirs, and we will meet on a middle ground. And our loved ones on the other side always have beautiful messages for us to share. And, the point of a spiritual medium reading for a lot of people is there's always questions unanswered when a loved one transitions to the other side or passes away. And, we might be feeling guilt about why they left, or, when it comes to a pet, when we had to put them down at the vet, did we make the right decision, etc. So getting a spiritual medium reading can help relieve a lot of your worries, concerns, stresses. Now, a psychic reading or spiritual guidance reading, I like to refer to my energy goes forward and connects with yours. So I'll read your auric field, Jill. So everyone has an auric field. I like to think they're about your arms width apart. And so we can pick up, yes,
You
exactly. Yeah. So we can pick up your past, present, and future in that field. And now when people get these psychic or spiritual guidance reading, things are not set in stone. We do have free will coming to planet Earth. So we can make those decisions. But what we'll see is possibilities in your auric field. And a lot of time, a lot of women I get are like, am I going to have children? Yeah, I'll see the children there, but it's up to them if they're going to move in that direction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now it's interesting because one of my big mentors in life, she's been doing this for even longer than I have on a professional level. She was telling me, and this is so interesting, that psychic readings used to be concrete for her until the Mayan calendar ended in 2012.
But I don't even know what that is. What is the Mayan calendar? I'm sorry.
You'll probably remember everyone thought the world was going to end in 2012.
Oh, that was it. Yeah, when all the computers had the bugs and stuff, or no? Was that a different thing?
No, that was the
millennium. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay.
Oh my God. Okay. I think who was it? Was it Tom Hanks did a movie called 2012?
Oh, okay.
So yeah, Jill, the Mayan calendar was this stone calendar made by the Mayans thousands of years ago. And they wrote out this calendar in stone, chiseled it away, connected with, UFOs and aliens and spirits and astrology and all that stuff. And they created this calendar and they used it for centuries. And then it ended in 2012.
Oh.
So leading up to this, I'm surprised you don't remember. I'm going to send you that link to that movie.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a big deal in 2012. Everyone's like, oh my God, is the world ending? Da, 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 da. Because the Mayan calendar ended. So it's kind of weird. So anyway, my mentor, her psychic readings were concrete until 2012. And then she kind of had to reteach herself on how to do readings that weren't concrete. Wow. So, and I've heard that from a few people too. So that's kind of cool. So I'm just curious, and this is slightly off topic here, but if the Mayans knew that after 2012, things would become back more into our own free will if we were just going to start becoming more spiritual beings again.
Okay.
Anyways, and so yes, spiritual guidance readings are for those who need like sometimes a pick me up, a pep back in their step, a boost. Yes, you're on the right track. Should you have a career change, finances, relationships, family, health? Those are the main questions people want to tap into. And animal communication readings, which I know are probably one of your favorites, they are based on telepathy. So telepathy is the transference of words, thoughts, colors, feelings, and emotions from mind to mind. And all of our animals on the planet are telepathic. And we as humans are telepathic, except we choose to use a verbal language first. So anyone can do this work. And so I love this style of work because it caters to everyone, and whatever your needs or wants are, there's something here for you. And I know I've mentioned it before, Jill, why aren't we using more of our spiritual gifts and powers that have put on this planet for us to utilize? Society's gotten to the point, like, 9-to-5 job, buying a new car, all these routines, keeping up with the Joneses, stuff like that. We have pushed back our spiritual and innate abilities. Whereas if we just started to train and pay attention, it could be a game changer.
Yeah.
So I have some fun stories for you because I know those are your favorite.
Yes. I'm excited. Let me hear.
Yeah. So I had this client yesterday, actually. She came in. She's never had, when I say come in, we do have an office here in town. Most of my clients are on Zoom. But we do have an office here, and I was working out of the office yesterday, and I had this girl come in, she was with her gal pals. She had never had a psychic reading. She was really nervous. And so she comes in, we sit down, we touch base on her career, her love life, where she's going, possible children in her future and stuff. And all of a sudden, Jill, I felt it wasn't very strong, but I just had a sense of an older woman who was killed in a car crash. And, when we're dealing with people on the other side, we have to tread lightly because it is very sensitive to those in front of us. So we have to really make sure we're presenting the facts in a gentle, kind way, right? So I asked her, I said, is your mom transitioned to the other side? And she's like, no, she's still here. And I was like, okay, interesting. And I'm like, so I said, okay, there is an older woman coming here and she's showing me a car crash. And she showed me where it was in the country, but I didn't want to get to that part yet because now I'm just curious. I'm like, is this for this girl? And she started getting weepy eyed, and she's like, yeah, my boyfriend and I were in a head-on collision in January, and the woman of the other car didn't make it. And I just got goosebumps. And so I said, was this in British Columbia, which is the province, like where Vancouver is and stuff? And she said yes. And because Spirit showed me kind of the province, the shape of the province in a way. And I was like, okay, did the woman, she's showing me, I feel like she's showing me ice. Did her car slip on ice and come into oncoming traffic, which was you? And she said yes. So the girl didn't necessarily exactly know what happened to this woman after the accident. Everyone was, I assume, taken to the hospital, whatnot. And again, I don't want to ask intimate questions because it is emotional, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we don't need to know that stuff. So she said, I always wondered what had happened to this woman. And so she wanted to come forward and tell this girl, I'm okay. And because she's been stressing about it since January,
Wow.
Yeah. And, the point was to give her some relief and being like, hey, you didn't do anything wrong. It wasn't your fault. It was no one's fault. It was ice, And then I felt like this woman was showing me her grandchildren. And I feel like she just wanted my client to know, like, I'm still part of my grandchildren's lives. I'm sitting there watching them, playing with them and stuff. And, you know, I've mentioned to you before that there's been many incidences where loved ones on the other side show me them coming forward and playing with their grandchildren who are in
Right.
this realm, right? Because our
Mhm.
children are so psychic.
Mhm.
They see spirit on the other side until we train them out of it, being like, nope, that's an imaginary friend. Why are you talking to yourself?
Mhm.
All that stuff. So this woman wanted to come through and give her some relief,
That is beautiful. Wow.
right?
Talk about concrete evidence again that this exists, this is real. And like you said, it was her first reading ever, right? So she probably was a little skeptical, hesitant, like, and she walked out of there saying, what? Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
goodness.
And she was scared to come in. She's like, I don't know. Your friend's like pushing her, right? And normally, if people aren't real willing or ready for reading, I won't really do it because they'll shut down their energy, and then we can't read it or
Yeah.
connect, right? But for some reason, I welcomed her in, and I was like, it's okay. It's not scary. Come sit down. But there was a reason for that. So now I hope she can go home and like have some peace,
Yeah.
and sometimes that's what we need. And then this week I was also connecting with this cat who was on the other side. And these clients were on Zoom. It was both the cat's parents, so mom and dad, and they were just so emotional. They loved their cat so, so much. And he had a transition, and he really wanted to reassure them that he is all around them and that those are his people, those are his family. He's still a part of them. And he said, tell mom I'm lying by her head at night. And
Uh,
his mom started crying, and she's like, he always slept at my head,
wow.
and now his ashes are kept on the nightside table right beside her head. So, because she wanted that comfort, right? And this cat, his name is Chewy Lou. Chewy Lou. It
What a
showed
name.
me, yeah, it said he's still by her head. So concrete evidence like that can really, really help people,
Wow.
you know and this is how telepathy works too, Jill. So Chewy was sending me a picture of a train, like a train engine, and all I could think of was choo choo train.
Yeah.
So I asked his parents. I said, did you call him choo choo? And they're like, yes, that was his nickname, choo choo.
Cute.
Right, so that's how things like that work.
And it,
They, and even with humans on the other side, they send us images or colors or feelings, and it can be like a game of charades. We have to decipher it. So with these clients, I said, he keeps showing me a train, choo choo train, choo choo train. They were willing to like dig in and be like, yes, that's what we called it. Whereas you're closed off, the people can be like, I don't know why he's showing you a train. You're not connecting with him, and some people can get angry. So you have to be open and ready and willing to do any type of these sessions, because that's important. You have to be open. Sometimes as a medium or an animal communicator, we need that assistance from you
yep.
as well to make the reading go. I felt like he kept saying the name Luna, and I just kept saying Luna, Luna. And I asked them, I said, do you have another cat named Luna? He's mentioning Luna. They're like, it's Lula. Yeah. Lula's on the other side with Choo Choo.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, like I kind of got the name wrong,
Wow.
right? But
But
I heard it as
it's
best as
pretty
I
spot
could.
on. Wow.
Yeah. But someone else can be like, nope, there's no Luna, and move past it.
And
And
not
then,
remember that. Hmm.
well, and not be willing
Or to
to
open up and
open up and help decipher the information. So because they were willing and open, the reading was fabulous for them, and for me. You leave there feeling good and knowing that you did a good job, So if you're not ready for a reading, probably just hold off until you are. Jill, there was this other one. Did I tell you about the peanut allergy last time we talked?
Doesn't ring a bell. Give me more info. Hold on.
Okay. So there was this dog and another dog who's on the other side transitioned into heaven, and his mom came to me. It was the dog who mentioned the music box with the Bette Midler's song "The Rose."
Oh, you talked about a while ago, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know if I mentioned the allergies though, because I had it written down to talk about this week. So this dog in heaven wanted me to understand that the new baby in the family has a severe milk and peanut allergy. And Jill, I have never had a food allergy in my life, or I don't think I've ever had an allergic reaction. So when I was hearing this, it was the most interesting experience. My mouth and my lips started burning, and my tongue started it felt like it was swelling.
Oh.
And I had so much tingling in my mouth, and I could sense my whole mouth felt like it was on fire and swelling. And again, I've never had an allergy. So I Googled, what does it feel like to have a peanut allergy when you eat a peanut? And sure enough, those were some of the symptoms. Like your lips tingle and all that stuff. And I was like, wow. And my partner, he was at the kitchen table, and I was like, Colin, I swear this baby has a peanut allergy, because this is just what happened in my mouth. And yeah, he thinks I'm nuts sometimes, but he goes with it. And so the next day when I was consulting with the mom, I said, okay, Jasper said, I have to tell you what happened. Said that your son has a milk and peanut allergy, and made my mouth on fire and blah, blah, and keep him away from peanuts. She's like, he was just diagnosed with a milk and peanut allergy.
Whoa.
Yeah. So she had already known, but Jasper wanted to maybe prove that he's there with them. And also just remind her, make sure he stays away from it, because it was intense, the sensation.
Wow.
Yeah. So spirit can show you information through all different avenues, like smells, thoughts, colors, feelings, like your mouth getting on fire, right? It's so interesting. And then he also said, the baby, it's very important the baby becomes a very strong swimmer. Why? I'm not 100% sure, but they live in the Hamptons, so kind of by you. They live in the Hamptons, so, surrounded by water and stuff. Perhaps the child is going to grow up, being a sea captain or whatever. But for some reason, he's really wanting mom to make the kid a strong swimmer. And he's only 22 months. And she said, you know what? I just signed him up for swimming lessons next week. So I don't know. I just felt.
Or they have a pool, or he's going to fall in the pool, like something like tragic. You don't think, but
yeah. Well, I was thinking there was going to be I just felt like he might, in the future have to save people or something, it was kind of that along that vibe. And I felt like there was a boating accident, but, again, she doesn't need to know that at this time. Just make sure your son's a strong swimmer. Because you don't want to also give people information that, is going to make them worry.
And scare them. And then they're going to wait every week and turn. When is it happening? When is it happening?
Yeah. But you do want to give them the information to make an action. Like that little boy with the stomach we talked about a few weeks ago. I haven't heard anything back. Okay. And again, that's up to them if they want to talk to me about it. But they took action. They were going to go see a doctor and whoever. So hopefully we can get that resolved. Now also it was cute because this dog also showed me stickers, stickers everywhere. And so I thought maybe the mom, maybe did arts and crafts or made nice photo albums with stickers and stuff. She's like, oh my God, my baby is obsessed with stickers. He puts them everywhere. They're all over his room. So her dog just wanted her to be like, Mom, I'm
I
around.
see. I'm
Like
around there. Yeah.
yeah. And it was funny because I felt the dog was showing me that he got a sticker stuck on his paw. So I have to laugh and think about it, because did the spirit dog get a sticker stuck on his paw? So was there a sticker floating through the air and like only the baby noticed? Like
Wow.
I don't know. You never know, right? So I love stuff like that, because our animals and our loved ones on the other side are looking out for us, and they want us, you know, to diagnose us, help us understand these things and guide us in the right direction. Then there's this other dog as well this week with another allergy. And well, his mom came to me because this dog has severe allergies. She believes they can't figure out why. And again, he gave me this weird sensation in my mouth that is very like dry and pasty. It was very odd. And you know, when you put flour with a bit of water and it makes a gummy kind of
Mhm.
paste and you stir it, that's what I kept picturing and feeling in my mouth for some reason. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
It was, I had two mouth experiences this week and it was fabulous. So I'm hoping maybe that's my new thing. And so what I felt was there's something in saliva that breaks down starches. Okay. And it kind of brought me a memory back to high school science class, learning about amylase and lactase and whatnot. I was like, okay, yeah. So we have a chemical in our saliva that breaks down starches, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I Googled it. I'm like, maybe this dog has not enough of this type of saliva in his mouth to break down starches. So I Googled it, dogs and amylase in saliva. I did not know, Jill, dogs and cats do not have this chemical in their mouth to break down starches.
Okay.
They have it in their belly. So if you feed a dog bread, for example, it doesn't start to digest until it's in their belly. Whereas humans put the bread in their mouth and it gets mushy and soft and easier to swallow.
I don't know that either. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. So that's why you chew, right? We're
yeah.
getting the saliva to break it down, make it nice and soft so we can swallow it. So dogs and cats actually don't have that. And so this is what this dog is teaching me. So, so when he's eating his dog food, there are some starches in it. And now he's not able to break them down. So like starches as in like wheat, you know, legumes, like stuff like that. So with this dog in particular, he's not able to break it down and it's bothering him.
Yep.
It's affecting him. And he showed me his throat feeling a bit swollen and dry as well, because he's not being able to make that kind of paste and like swallow the food. So I relayed that to his mom.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, so now she's going to go make sure there's zero wheat starches, all gluten, anything in his food. Because a lot of animals' foods, you know, there are that stuff hidden in there, but some wheat and legumes and stuff like that are fine for animals. But in this case, this dog could not digest it properly and it's affecting him and it's making his face swell
Wow.
and getting rashes.
And
Right?
yeah, that's amazing. That I just
Yeah,
these stories.
I know. So
Wow.
isn't that so cool how they can do that?
So are you developing another sense? You know, like the Claire, what's the Claire taste?
Yeah.
What is,
Claire Augustins.
did you ever have that before? This is new.
I've had it the odd time. But this is to a new level and I'm loving it. I'm just like, oh my God. And it's because I'm putting the work in, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm practicing on a daily basis. I'm working with clients all the time. So I'm building that fire, that energy. And so becoming more sensitive and everything. And which is amazing. Spirit, I'm not complaining at all, but I have to tell Jill this. Jill, I can't drink wine right now.
Wow.
Wine is my favorite thing.
So what happened? Just
I don't know. The past like 6 weeks, I
that's
can't drink any alcohol.
wow.
And
Okay.
I feel off balance. I feel off kilter. And I think it's because I'm doing like really dove into all the spiritual work.
Wow.
I know.
Let me tell you what happened to me last week quickly. Because it's not about me, but I went to New Jersey to my sister's husband's sister's doctor's office, who I'm friends with the doctor for 20 something years. And he's been trying, he wants to help me with my stomach since I had this stomach issue my whole life. He gave me exosomes, like not stem cells, but they're part of like exosome therapy. He injected my stomach. For the next how many days now, I haven't bloated. I'm able to eat food. This is the first time in my life I'm able to eat food without being in pain, having gas, discomfort. It's bizarre. But then, wait a second. This happened on Wednesday night. Well, then Thursday morning, I woke up, no urge to have coffee. Friday, Saturday, I have no urge to have coffee anymore. So what I did was I didn't have it Sunday morning, but Sunday afternoon I said, let me just try it and see. I took some of the coffee and all of a sudden my stomach started hurting. So something's telling me that part. I mean, I've had that since I was a child, but still, that is a major irritant in my body. I feel like spirits coming to me, my mom telling me, Jill, no more coffee. So this is a special, this is tea, but I'm a coffee drinker. I love coffee
Yeah.
and I don't have the urge to even have it anymore. I look at I'm like,
Oh,
ew.
yeah.
I get
Okay.
goosebumps. Like something's happening. Someone's telling me
Wow.
no
Oh,
coffee.
that's amazing. That's
Goosies.
amazing.
It's similar to what you're doing with the no wine. Like
Yeah.
something is just
Yeah. It changed like overnight like that with me too. And it's great, but at the same time, a part of me is like, I have the most like awesome
amazing
wine
wine
collection right
collection.
now. And I'm like, I can't have any. So I guess I'll be gifting it to birthdays and
Yeah.
whatever for people. But yeah, so that's awesome. Your body and spirit is telling you, okay, no more coffee. There's something in that that's creating some sort of effect.
It's bizarre. So you got to
Yeah.
Google exosome therapy, and then we're doing stem cells next week. But they directly inject them into my stomach, and I went to dinner that night. I didn't bloat. The next morning I woke up, I wasn't bloat. It's just bizarre. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
curing me or whatever it is, but I feel like I have relief all of a sudden. And I don't want to get my hopes up, but I kind of am. I'm going back next week for the IV treatment of stem cells, and then another 2 more weeks for another part. But the exosome therapy was first. That Google what exosomes are and stem cell
Yeah.
therapy.
Yeah. I'm
It's
going
fascinating. And then
to.
I'm like, oh my God. So I got parts of people in me. And then I wake up the next morning, I want coffee. I'm like, wow, what's happening?
Parts of people.
Well, no, because you think stem cells, you think exosomes, and that's part of people's DNA that's coming to
Right.
it's taken from all like the placentas of babies all over and the billions of these cells.
Okay.
So I'm like, do I have a different genetic makeup? All that something. Google
Okay.
exosome and stem cell.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Like I've heard people with like who get
Like a heart transplant, all of a sudden they don't
yeah.
they love cheeseburgers. They never had a cheeseburger. They talk to the person who did the heart,
Yeah.
like my son loved cheeseburgers. Oh my, I'm like, what? I don't know. Just overthinking,
Well,
but
no, I don't think you are at all because like that's like, and now you're having that physical aversion
yep.
to even seeing the coffee.
Yeah. Ooh,
So that is okay. I need to check that out.
yeah. Well, you're having your aversion too. So why?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
And
think it's
again,
definitely above.
I think it's just, clearing up old patterns and releasing and understanding where you're at and stuff. And again, that's utilizing those tools, and anyone has access to these powers. You just have to give it the time and take the time,
Yeah.
you know? Um, and anyone can do it. Start with a meditation, start with just putting an intention out to the universe. I am ready. I am open to receive awareness and insight for the day.
Got it. Well, thank
You
you,
know,
Jamie. We're out of time, so we got to wrap up.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
that's okay. That's okay. Thanks, Jill. You look great today. And I'm glad
Excellent.
you aren't drinking coffee anymore.
Yeah, and I'm just feeling better. So, wow. And how can we reach out to you with questions to get a reading and all the above?
Yeah, so Jaime Breeze, JaimeBreeze.com, and on Instagram at The Mountain Medium.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for being here, for joining us. Love the stories. We'll follow up again next week. And I got to look
Awesome.
at that movie, 2012. I remember you said that. So I got to make sure I check that out. It's with Tom Hanks, you said?
Tom Hanks. Yeah, I'll send you a link.
Thank you so much. And I'll send you the information on the exosomes and the stem
Yes.
cell therapy because it's just fascinating. All right.
Yeah.
Have a good day. Sorry, I got to go. Love you. Bye, honey.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcasts on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.